you know what I love about blind jokes? Is that I can never see them coming. So do you have at least one of the following? Nystagmus, astigmatism, photophobia, a lazy eye, or are you cross-eyed, or are you not part of that 20/20 vision population? Well, I was born with a condition called oculocutaneous albinism, it's a hard word to say, that affects 1 in 20,000 people across the world. And the side effects include all of the previous listed, and very to no little melanin in my body, and no pigment in my hair, skin, or eyes. So all of this is not curable at all. And so elementary school was hard, confused as to why I was being teased for being different. Kids would question me about how my eyes weren't the same and how I was too pale, and would oftentimes tell me that they didn't want to catch my disease. And I was very confused on this. I knew that I was really white and albino, not knowing what that meant back then, and that I was very different from my Latino family. And from a young age, I learned that people were ignorant to things they know nothing about. Kids from school would ask me if I was sick or accuse me of being adopted, and adult women would ask me where I got my hair dyed and how I got my face to be so white. But luckily, as I got older, it got easier, and my peers became less judgmental, and I was finally accepted as a regular human being. But just like how all good things come to an end, junior high came around. And as more homework was given and the text became smaller, my headaches began to become unbearable. But not knowing what was wrong with me back then, I thought that this was normal and that daily headaches were just for everybody. And so there are many factors that come into play when discussing my eyes. Light, sound, stress, how tired or hungry I am can affect how well I see. And so the first symptom is nystagmus, which is the rapid and uncontrollable movement in my eyes. This can best be described as a needle moving at a rapid pace. No matter how slowly the needle is moving, you will never ever see it clearly. There's also the astigmatism, the abnormal curvature in the eyes that most people tend to have. And then the strabismus, the crossing and wandering in one or both eyes. And photophobia. No, I am not scared of light. I am very, very light sensitive. And I'll explain why that is later. But back in junior high, I didn't know any of this. And I was confused on what was happening to my body, and I was confused on what's going on with my eyes. And eventually this put me into a deep depression my 8th grade year. But just like how junior high ruined my life, high school came and made it so much better. I joined a program that gave me the confidence in who I am, and I was no longer held back by my vision to do things that I wanted to do. And while I do need vision to march and do marching band, it actually helped me a bit. And so, on top of all the other stuff wrong with me, my retina is complete utter trash. If you can see here, this is the normal retina, and this is what mine and my community's retina would be considered under. And so if you see this, the one that's under albino is very transparent, and this is why I do have photophobia. Is as light passes through the normal one, it is oftentimes reflected, whereas mine, I absorb all and every single light that comes into my eyes. And so the center, which is better known as the central focus point or the fovea, is what normal people have, and that's the very dark dot in the center. And if you notice on mine, there is no central focus point. And so, because I do not have one, the nystagmus and the strabismus will oftentimes fight each other to create one clear picture. And so to deal with this, I will oftentimes turn off my left eye, as it will make my vision worse. And marching band helped with this by learning how to control what I can see out of both eyes, and learning that if I move this far to the right or left, I'm actually in the center. And so going into my second semester of freshman year, my mom found out that there should have been services helping me since I was in kindergarten. And angry that no one ever caught on, the special ed department caught it right away and tested me. They found out that my long distance, before things are distinguishable, is only 4 feet far. My reading distance is 2 to 6 inches from my face, and that my ideal reading font is 16. So as you can see here, the top is what the normal peripheral vision of normal person would have, and this is what my average vision is. Because my vision is so dependent on everything, this is very time subject to change. And so I do not have much peripheral vision at all. And this is because as my eyes do cross, my right eye will cross and my left eye will wander. So this is why I have more vision on my left side, and while my right eye is better, it only faces this way, so I don't have any of this side of my eyes. So here is also another picture of what I can see. This is probably only a fraction of what it really is, but this is the best I could do. The top one is what the 20/20 vision would be perceived to be, and the bottom one is what mine is on top of that picture as well. And as you can see, there's a lot cut off the sides, and that's where the peripheral vision is not there. And realistically, my vision is a lot worse than it really is, or than I think it is. But because our brains are so in this way, in this manner to fight for survival, it oftentimes will make up things that aren't really there, and will make the best educated guess to fill in these gaps that we don't personally have. And so this is also part of the reason that when you see something in the corner of your eye that isn't really there, and you swear it's there, that's why. And here you can see how it affects reading. And so while I do have the shaking in my eyes constantly, my personal experience is I do not see straight lines at all in any direction, where someone else with my condition might only see curved lines, or they might not see horizontal lines only. It's really dependent on who you are and what you have. And so, after finding all this out, I found out that my vision, I do not know exactly what it is, but I am definitely in the hundreds without glasses. But because there is no cure to albinism and vision cannot be corrected, my vision with glasses is in the 70s to high 80s. And so to help with all of this, the special ed department gave me and all other people with my condition large print to help seeing things that it can go in a printer, CCTVs to help enlarge what we can't enlarge on a copier, monocular, which is like a telescope to see to see distance things, and a cane to help with pretty much anywhere that's not home. And so today I'm doing just fine. I'm taking normal classes and even have a normal working job. And I'm learning at the same pace that everyone else is, almost. But there are many people like me who do not know that they're disabled and are still confused on what's happening to them and just think that, they're normal. But there are organizations like the National Organization of Albinism and Hypopigmentation, or NA, to help these people realize what's wrong with them and to get serious help. My community is relatively small, but we are powerful, and I wanted to talk about this picture. In many countries in Africa and these poor countries, they oftentimes will view albinos as mythical creatures, and like how we do for bunnies and their feet, will oftentimes dismember them for good luck. And so if my community, including these kids who are fighting for their life, can push through and not let their disabilities beat them, then why should you let your disability, whatever it shall be, beat you? Thank you.